What's up, guys? Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be covering one of the best objection handling tactics that I use in sales calls day to day. And yes, I'm in a pool right now, but I just had this. I was thinking about a close that I had just yesterday, and I used this. And I've used this so many times over the last few years. And every single time that it works out and I'm able to close a deal from it, I just feel like, why don't I use this more often? And so I figured I would make a video about it because it'll help you out if you're in sales, if you run a business, if you are looking to get into sales. This is good stuff to learn and actually implement. So best case, worst case, what's the idea behind it? Well, the idea behind it is to handle an uncertainty objection. Uncertainty objection basically means the prospect's not confident in your service, your business, what you're offering, or they're not confident in themselves. They're not confident that they're gonna get whatever result it is you're promising or telling them that you can help them get to, right? So this can apply to basically any industry, but basically it's when the prospect doesn't feel like they're gonna get the outcome that they're buying into, okay? Best case, worst case. The whole idea is to play up what the best case scenario is and play down what the worst case scenario is. Sometimes people get so in their head when they're making decisions on a sales call, when they're being sold to, when they're talking to a stranger, they just can't think straight. And so this is a mental reframe that allows them to be able to put things in perspective, kind of zoom out, and ultimately be able to think clearly and make a decision to move forward. So this is for those people that you run into who are like, I just need to think about it. It's really hard for me to make a decision on the spot. I don't like to feel pressured, all that sort of stuff, right? And what you do basically is start with the worst case scenario and then move into the best case scenario. So what that actually looks like is, got it, okay, understand where you're at, right? I've talked with a lot of people who are having some sort of hesitations around moving forward with us, moving forward with me, apply it to your business. And what I found is, like, let's just talk like worst case scenario, right? Like, putting it into perspective here, worst case scenario, like, came to me, and I'll just give you guys an example. I was talking to this lady who has like hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest. We're helping her invest it, and she was just so in her head. And so I was like, worst case scenario, like, you invest X amount with us, right? And like, let's say the service is nothing like what you thought it would be. Like, it's the worst thing you've ever bought into and like doesn't work out for you at all. Like, I'm talking worst case, right? Like, you invest X with us and that happens, like, what does your life look like? Is it a scenario where like it really burns but you can move past it? Or is it a scenario where like you're homeless on the street, like you're not sure how you're gonna pay for groceries? And obviously they're like, well, it would suck, I'm not gonna be homeless, but I don't want to make a decision where like I'm gonna put myself in a bad spot. And you're like, yeah, I can completely understand that. And again, like, that's worst case and not gonna happen. But best case on the other side of the coin is like, you come in, we help you invest this money, and you find yourself in a spot 6 months from now making X amount, like we talked about, and being able to step away from your job, not having to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week anymore, and instead being able to invest full time and enjoy your day to day, spending a couple of hours a day working and the rest of your time being able to travel, spend time with your kids, and ultimately just enjoy a life of freedom. Like, at the end of the day, knowing that the worst case is it burns a bit and the best case is actually being able to look back on this meeting and say, that was the meeting, that was a pivotal moment for me to actually achieve true freedom. Like, knowing those are the two scenarios, which one do you think it's best to make a decision based off of? And for her, it was like, yeah, I see. And I was like, got it. And this is where it's important for you to take some leadership in sales. From there, I literally just said, got it. So what I find is usually best at this point, like, knowing that that's the case, we'll go ahead and walk you through payment. We'll process it together. I'll get you set up on your onboarding meeting. That way you have that to look forward to. And I'll get you access to some of the content. That way you can start consuming some of the content today, and you get to look forward to the exciting next steps of actually investing this, rather than having to anticipate whether you're gonna take action or not. And so I led that up with, does that sound like a plan? I think those are the exact words. I'm trying to remember. It was something along that sounded like a plan in like a very soft tone. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so you ready to do this? And she was like, yeah. And then moved forward, processed payment, got her started. This lady will crush it with us. I'm absolutely confident. But here's the thing to realize on top of that. These people who can't make decisions, these people who you're going to use a best case, worst case on, they are looking to you as an authority figure to help them reframe their mind, help them shift their mindset, help them make a decision, because so many people struggle to make decisions. They're basically asking you for help. So keep that in mind. It'll help you when you're objection handling, when you're trying to reframe people's minds. And you have to understand most people's mindset is broken, man. So that's it. Sales help of the day. If you guys want any more sales help, you can always DM me on IG or apply for my mentorship. If not, all good, and I'll see you in the next one.